Pop the popcorn, grab a Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops and nuts, there are topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From backhand juice to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.
Welcome to the Ejectables. This is the show where movie enthusiasts Bill and Ian join forces with a weekly rotating guest to celebrate movies that we feel have been unjustly panned by the critics or sadly ignored and forgotten by audiences. But today's guest is
Erika Block. She's a clarinetist and the executive director of the Bellingham Festival of Music, and has been a member of the orchestra since 2013. In addition to being all about the music, she's a mommy and a wifey who kind of likes movies too, and also hosts a classical music podcast. Everyone, please welcome Erika!
That's the best intro I've ever gotten. Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is super fun.
And thank you for letting us borrow your husband too. I understand we've just destroyed your evening, taking you both away from each other.
It's perfect. No problem.
We'll do it every week then.
That's awesome.
So tell us about, so I can't see through my glasses right now. Tell us about your music. Like you have a serious bio of like a lot of stuff.
All the things. You just get on the ride and then it takes you places.
Well, we asked your husband about the music that you both did together during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take us from there? And
Sure.
Was that a good experience?
Yeah, we have done that for a long time. I think we've done 8 or 9 years of that one concert playing together, which is part of a chamber music series that I help run throughout the year. So we do all kinds of different instrumentations from 2 players to 9 or 10. And we run 6 concerts a year for that. And most of them sell out. It's a really fun opportunity for the community. And then my other job is a summer festival. So we bring 85 classical orchestral musicians in from around the country from big orchestras and kind of build like a NBA all-star team orchestra. And so we house them in community members' houses for the month, and they stay for the whole month of July, and we perform 6 orchestral concerts and then 5 or 6 small chamber concerts for the community. So we got a new conductor from Brazil who comes every year, and the musicians are amazing. So for the whole year, I do all the admin and all the contracts and organizing it all and helping pick the music and marketing and fundraising and running the auction and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. I was thinking how cool it is you live in such a artsy fartsy house, but that's like a lot of admin work too.
Yes, it's a lot of both. It's kind of if you want it to happen, you have to do it yourself. So there's a lot of admin. So we've learned a lot there, but it's so fun because then you get to play. So I play in that orchestra, I play in the chamber ensemble, and then sometimes I'll get invited to go to other cities and perform for a week as a guest with symphonies there. So there's a lot of playing and admin, but it's super fun.
It seems like a dream, like where you guys are from. And I don't know, I want to move in. Can I be adopted?
Sure. As long as you are a good practicer.
Do I have to play instruments?
No.
Okay.
You can do whatever you like. But
I played a violin in a movie.
It's
really bad. It was embarrassing.
That's awesome. We'll have to talk about that as it pertains to these movies.
Yeah,
fake musicians playing violin.
That's so horrible. Anyway.
Are we gonna make somebody sleep with the fishes?
Ian, that's for Halloween.
That wasn't me. I didn't. That was the opera singer. I had nothing to do with that.
Halloween.
Poor Glenn.
But yeah, I think there's a coincidence maybe with Erika's pick today. Is there, Erika?
There you go. That's what
there must be. Our leading lady does not get killed in my version.
Yeah, what is your pick today? Is it Fatal
My
Attraction 2?
Yes, my pick is Meeting Venus
Oh, with Glenn Close.
with Glenn Close, the very
That's
same.
why you did that.
Very
Oh,
clever. Loved it.
I had nothing to do with me. So, well, let's hop into the trailer and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Here is the trailer.
Sex. Betrayal. Madness. And the overture hasn't even begun.
I can't mix up my work with my private life.
Glenn Close, Niels Aristrup. Meeting Venus.
Wow.
I have to say, it was really hard to find a trailer for this movie. All I could find was that tiny little trailer. So I'm sorry.
No, that sums it up.
So why did you pick this film for the Ejectables?
This is so fun. So this film has two kind of segments for this particular moment. One is because I learned about it from Bill's dad. When I was like 15 or 16, we went to his beach house and I didn't know anybody and didn't, he's a movie guy and he was like, you like classical music? I've got the movie for you.
Wait,
so
hold on. Bill had a beach house?
yeah.
You are from the fancy part of Jersey, like one of our other guests said. He claims he's not. You're a fancy pants.
No, I grew up in the tough streets of Ramsey.
You're rich. Sorry,
I'm not rich.
He had a
Thanks
beautiful
for being friends with this poor guy.
with laser discs, and so his dad took me to sit down and watch this movie. He was like, "You're gonna love this." We put it on Laserdisc, and I was like, that was amazing. He's like, I know you'd love it. So I've always loved it ever since then. And I've kind of carried it with me. And the more and more I've gotten deep into this part of the music industry and the admin and all of it, is the most accurate movie I've ever seen in my life. It's like, yes, that's what it's like. It's amazing. So the music is beautiful. The recordings, the artist that they used for the sopranos, she's incredible. And the story is beautiful, but it's so incredibly accurate that I often will bring musicians over and sit them down the way that Bill sat me down and was like, just watch this. And people are always just in tears laughing with how amazingly accurate and funny it is.
Do you deal with the clash of cultures, which kind of happens in this as well, and the stereotypes that people perceive upon each other?
All the time, because the thing that's so great about music is it's completely international. So you have guest artists flying in from all over the world, and everyone has this beautiful connection with the language of music, but that's kind of the end of it. Everything else is total culture clash or language barriers or just the whole thing.
The union.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, all the union stuff just cracks me up when the chorus watches all go off and the union, like the choir
like
just gets there and then they leave because it's water break again. Totally real. All of it's totally real. And so the perspective of the conductor as he's trying desperately to make this happen, make it good, find the real soul of this piece in the midst of just absolute chaos, from the musicians not wanting to play, the opera singers constantly trying to show how awesome they are and tchotching each other all the time with the language gap. You've got all the building unions, you've got the marketing guys. It's just endless. And him not being able to get his money because his visa is not coming through. It's like, yep, that's basically what it is.
It would be really stressful for you to watch this.
It's so
stressful. Good. I'm not alone, but
yeah. It just makes you be like, wow, it's finally someone made an accurate movie instead of like Mozart in the Jungle or something, which has absolutely nothing to do with the real life of a musician. But this is about as accurate as it gets.
It is a lot of fun. It is so well acted. It's so charming. It's funny, and yet it has a nice emotional core. The performances are so nuanced and very touching. It's a lovely, lovely film. What'd you think of this, Bill?
I didn't see it till Erika told me about it.
Really? I saw it at the theater.
Really?
I was Erika, it's a little operated out. But,
yeah, I'm sure you were. I'm sure it's a double-edged sword for you.
It's tough growing up in the beach house, Bill.
Anyways, it's an awesome movie. David Putnam produced it. He produced Chariots of Fire. He's one of the greatest producers ever. So right away I knew it was great. It made I love the main character. He was such a great actor. I guess he's not really
Yeah.
Hungarian, he's French.
Oh,
Hmm.
Yeah,
feel like too.
awesome movie.
Yeah, yeah. I love also, I mean, there's so many funny moments, and then, it runs the whole gamut, but the whole struggle between him always writing his wife and complaining to his wife and leaning
Mhm.
on her until his experience with Glenn Close starts turning.
Mhm.
It's really interesting when he brings his wife to hear her recital, and he's so captivated by her and so overwhelmed by her musicality and her presence. And then he looks over at his wife, and his wife's like looking at her watch. And
Yeah.
that was kind of the end of it. That to me is also very pointed of the like connection, the emotional connection that happens in music, and how so many musicians fall into that because it's
Sure.
such an intimacy in creating music that he didn't have with his doctor wife, who was a lot colder and kind of like, I'm at home holding it together so you can go have fun. But he couldn't manage it.
Is this how you and BJ fell in love because of this music thing?
Yeah. We both
Aw.
were ushers at Symphony Hall together.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
that's beautiful.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. It's a powerful one. So yeah, I love this movie. I just walk around just giving it to everybody that I can. I'm like, if you love music, you got to see this. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
it's so well. I guess I was going to say it's such a bummer. It's tough to find, but actually you can rent it on iTunes and Prime and stuff. So it's not so
Yeah.
hard to find. Just the trailer is.
Yeah. It's better. And it was fun. I was digging through YouTube looking, and there's a couple fun little interviews with her and some of the other casts
Yeah.
talking about making it. And that was interesting to see their perspective of it. And she was talking about how she studied voice for the part, even though it's not her singing. But she got really into it. And it was, at the time, she thought the best movie she'd ever made.
Oh wow.
So I thought that was really interesting too.
I saw that as well when trying to find the trailer. So I'm
Mhm.
like, maybe it's in here somewhere, but
Yeah. Yeah.
listen,
No, it's
anyway,
it's that rare.
it's a great pick. This is a really good pick for the
Yay,
show.
I'm so glad you liked it.
But
You have to try. You have to care. For me. You're my friend.
Are we gonna make somebody sleep with the fishes?
Do not eject! Do not eject! Do not eject this!
I guess the opera singer wants to talk about my movie, which has nothing to do with that film. And I chose 2012's Anna Karenina, directed by Joe Wright. And I think it is one of the most stunning films I've ever seen. Let's go to the trailer and we can talk about it.
You are my wife. You will not see this man again. It would be a sin to help you destroy yourself.
You forget something. I love him.
This movie, I think, is one of the most daringly theatrical films, yet equally cinematic. I think it is absolutely stunning. The performances are excellent. I think that it is at times very grand, but also very intimate at times. Like that scene with the blocks with Denholm Gleeson and Alicia Vikander when they're having that discussion, like moving the blocks around. It's like so beautiful. What did you think of this, Erica?
I agree. It was probably one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. I loved how they wove the theater throughout the entire movie. I think my favorite scene of all was when they went to the horse races and they piled into the theater, and then the horses were flying by on stage. But then it comes back to them and the horse falls off and comes towards them. That was incredible. I loved how sometimes they'd be walking down a corridor and then turn, and then they were backstage again.
Yeah.
So all of that to me was spectacular. The costumes were spectacular. And I loved how they juxtaposed this bad relationship, this poisonous affair versus Kitty.
True love. Yeah.
And her, like the slow and steady, and the way that they found like a real life and a real family together. The only part that I struggled with was clearly, I've never read the book, and clearly it's a really heavy book with a lot of interlace in a
You
lot
could
of
probably get it on tape. It's lighter. Sorry.
yeah, totally. A lot of character development. And so I felt like Keira Knightley, the demise of her character was very erratic and kind of psychotic and not quite. I kept reading synopsis of the book trying to understand what she was trying to do with it. And she would be like flipping out, and then 2 seconds later, like in the same conversation, start laughing and run up to him and kiss him and be girlish again, and then hysterical. And it sounds like in the book she just continues to slide, and it's not quite so erratic, and she becomes paranoid and kind of hysterical and depressed and like just continues heading south, but in this she's really unpredictable, and so it was harder to feel bad for her, because she made it feel like she deserved it, instead of being like, but it was her love, and isn't it tragic that her brother wasn't ostracized for his infidelity and she was. And so I had a hard time feeling bad for her, especially when the other relationship with Kitty was so much more steady and her character was predictable as a human, whereas I felt like Keira Knightley made it a little bit cartoony. That was my only trouble with her.
That is absolutely fair. I thought Jude Law was really good in this, and it was sort of a thankless role, but very subtle, and that's why it seems
incredible. And so not Jude Law. It was so hard to look at him and be like, I know you're in there. Like, give us a $10,000 smile. But he was like,
I think that was his real hair, maybe.
I don't know, but it was intense.
Hey, I'm not so far off.
But yeah, I thought as far as the beauty of what you were witnessing, and I loved how the trains came in with like a foot of ice on them.
Yes.
All of that was just stunning work.
It's amazing it actually worked, that that you could get into it without being too distracted. Though I think some reviewers are like, what? This is, a little bit too much on style, a little too little on substance. But Bill, what do you think?
Yeah,
I think it's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. I always liked his work. Although I didn't see Cyrano, but he did a movie called The Soloist.
The Soloist? So much.
With Jamie Foxx and Downey Jr. And that's like that's a Ejectable. That movie didn't do well, but it's one of my favorites. I didn't read the book. I was going to read a book by Leo Toy Story. That's just crazy. But absolutely stunning. I never saw it before. So thanks, Ian.
Yeah, it was. I remember when it came out, and it just kind of passed by. So it was really, really fun to see.
I resisted seeing it when it came out, but I'm like, I'll go. There's nothing else to see. And I was like, oh my God, I'm glad I went. And it won Best Costume, so it got some attention.
It deserved that.
But did not succeed in the States, sadly. But, Bill, we should move on, shouldn't we? It is...
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Are we gonna make somebody sleep with the fishes?
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to. Do not eject this!
Wow.
Do these even make sense anymore?
I don't know. Ask the opera singer. Very frisky tonight. The opera singer.
Oh my goodness.
What? I guess they want to know what you picked, Bill.
I picked 1994's M Butterfly. Do you have the? Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
With Jeremy Irons and John Lone. I saw it in the theater, and because I grew up with the opera.
At the beach house.
At the beach house, yes, at the beach house. And it was like one of the first, like, I was like, when I discovered independent cinema, I was like, oh, I'm going to be artsy and see this movie. And
was that in your house, the independent cinema?
No.
Okay.
A place called Nickelodeon in Boston. You might have heard of it.
Oh, I used to go there all the time. It's probably where I saw Meeting Venus.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's a wonderful movie directed by David Cronenberg, and who's very salacious, and so he's very restraint. He has a lot of restraint in this movie. It's beautifully shot. Total bomb. Totally, total disaster. Maybe we should watch the trailer.
What I love was the lie. If you really thought you could get away with your indiscretions forever, well, then you were mistaken. How shall I put this? Put it however you like. For I, man, was not well. have known and been loved by the perfect woman. I gave her my love. I am your butterfly. All of my love. And the little rose beneath everything. It was always me.
Wow.
All right.
All right. Erika, what'd you think?
This one was an interesting one.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the trailer, so I didn't know what to expect. And so for the first half of the movie, we were sitting there wrestling with this opera singer character being like, this looks like a guy.
Adam's apple.
I feel like it's a guy.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, I really liked it. And I love how they wrapped it up. And I was going to say, kind of lassoing back to Meeting Venus, both of these movies used lightly the storyline libretto of the operas with which they were wrapping themselves around. So the Tannhäuser opera is basically a guy has a wife, falls in love with a vixen, problems ensue, just like Meeting Venus. And Madame Butterfly, it's kind of ish, but they end it the way Madame Butterfly really ends. The real character doesn't end that way, but I love that they made it like Madame Butterfly, where he kills himself because he's so devoted to this person who betrayed him. So the way that they wrapped it up in with the real opera was super cool. I love that, of course, this character is singing Madame Butterfly, so they do a really good job kind of putting that essence into it, but I hadn't known anything about that story. And so reading up on that after, that was crazy that happened.
I know.
25 years. And he never knew. How do you not know? I mean, it was crazy, but I really liked it. And I love Jeremy Irons. I thought he did an incredible job.
I think he's British.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons?
Yeah. What?
Huh?
Ian? Huh?
What? I saw this movie at the theater.
Did you?
And
I
was
mean,
excited
I see movies in the theater.
I saw everything. Well, I used to see everything. I remember wanting to see this. The trailer made it look amazing. I thought at the time I wanted to be moved, and I wasn't moved. I was kind of bored back then. It got very mixed reviews in its day. So I rewatched it for this. I don't dislike it, but again, I wasn't moved by it.
Did you say it was boring?
I did. Yeah. I was kind of bored because of the lack of chemistry between them.
Right.
I felt that Jeremy Irons held all the emotion. He was the heart of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like, though I think Lone does a good job, playing the female character, I feel he's so maybe stuck in this one note performance that I feel like he never really breaks through. There's not an ounce of spontaneity in his performance,
right?
Where I just couldn't connect with it. And ultimately it has a very grounded, real feel to it. And there was left me asking too many questions about, like, really, would that happen? Yet the film wants you to kind of feel like it's in a real place. I don't know. I struggle with it. So Bill, why did you choose this?
Because the opera theme.
Okay, cool. No, it's not. Yeah, it's interesting. I know. Well, no, but why did you like it so much?
Well, it's a beautiful. I mean, I never seen a David Cronenberg movie like this. It's absolutely stunning.
The Brood is kind of like this.
Which one?
It's not The Brood.
What's that?
That's a great horror movie he did.
Wonderful retelling. Without the music, everything. Yeah, it's a great little movie.
I loved like the stillness. I loved like all the long shots with like one person sitting in a space and then you're kind of just slowly following them. I thought that was great. It was very, I feel like the chemistry was really challenging, like you said, because we were sitting there being like, I feel like that's a guy. This is so weird. Like, why would that be? And then you think about opera, they have all kinds of pants roles where women play the boy or women play a man. And that's super typical in opera. But in this case, I wasn't totally buying that performance, that it was really love and it was really a woman. When he finally like shows up at the court in a suit and is clearly a spy, then it was like, okay, here we go, game on. And then I feel that like the tension and feel the betrayal of it all, but it was hard Jeremy Irons was like putting out 20 out of 10s, and it wasn't
Yes.
a lot of love coming back to him.
Totally, totally. That's
Butterfly.
And like the thing, like, did Jeremy Irons really think they made a kid together? And wouldn't that, for me as a parent, if I knew I had a kid and then didn't really happen, and I don't know,
pretty
I'd
weird.
be mad.
And then I'm like, well, maybe this person was totally not, I mean, obviously not into it, but if he was being threatened to be killed if he didn't spy and do this thing, there would be awkwardness. So I'm like, well, maybe that was perfect then. Maybe it was brutally awkward because he kept, like, there was a couple opportunities where he was able to say to somebody, like, I hate this, I don't want to do this. So it wasn't genuine, it wasn't love. And so maybe it was like the torture of having to play this game for 2 decades.
I don't know, left me hanging a little bit too much.
That part of the relationship is hard to watch.
Yeah, the kid was cute, the baby was cute.
The baby was cute.
Anyway, Erika, we're at the part of the show where you have to choose one of the movies that is not your own pick as your favorite movie of the episode. What will it be?
I think it will be Anna.
Because you have amazing taste. Yeah.
Because it was really some of the most beautiful movie making I've ever seen. Stunning.
I agree with you. It's so beautiful. Bill, what do you pick as your
I'm going to pick Meeting Venus.
I am going to pick Meeting Venus as well.
Yay!
So,
a good one.
You know,
it's super charming.
A 1999
yes
from Ian.
Yes.
Wait a minute. But they're going to have 2 in the same house now.
Will you sign it, please?
Of course.
And make it out to me, not to be.
Okay. Can I just send one and write it on both?
Sure,
okay.
to the blocks.
I actually only have one of those left.
That's awesome. I would love that. It's going to go on our wall of fame.
Yeah, you're giving it up, dude.
Infamy. Thank you very much, Erika.
Yeah, thank you. So fun.
Where can we find these movies?
Anna Karenina can be found everywhere. You can rent it on iTunes, Prime, and YouTube. It should be on a 4K because it's freaking beautiful. Meeting Venus can be rented on iTunes, Prime, and YouTube. And it can also be found in a very poor quality version on YouTube. But don't watch that because you can't even see their eyeballs. I tried it.
Oh, no.
Don't watch that. And Butterfly can also be rented on iTunes, Prime, and YouTube, or find them all in video stores. Anyway. Erika, again, thank you. I know. Bill's got one near him. It's not fair.
I do.
Thank you, guys. That was super fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us ruin your night. And for watching all these movies, too. This will go up next week, in 2 weeks. Okay. Thank you very much, Erika.
Awesome.
Have a great one. Stand by for 1 second. Goodbye, everyone else. Like, share, tell your friends. And maybe Bill will invite you to his beach house. Okay.
Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.